two types of physical injuries that are associated with the yoga practice. The first type of injury is an acute injury, which is one that happens in a short time, usually associated with like a new asana or just something that just didn't go right on a particular day. The other injury is a bit more serious, and it's a chronic injury. And a chronic injury is something that is sustained over time. So that usually happens with incorrect alignment, incorrect form, or simply just doing something that you shouldn't be doing over a long period of time, creating like a stress fracture or creating a stress on a ligament or a tendon. And I see that a lot in students who don't have correct alignment when lowering down into Chatwari position or lowering down into that low push-up. Either the elbow is out to the side, the shoulders are caving forward, not down the back. There's a lot of things that cause a bit of injuries into the elbows, into the wrists, and all of that can be avoided with correct alignment, correct posture, correct practice. But when you do sustain an injury, what are you supposed to do? If you sustain an acute injury in your yoga practice, you need to stop your practice immediately. Remember the acronym RICE. Rest, ice, compression, elevation. Get those things down because that's what you need for the acute injury. Now, I haven't always been that smart. I've been injured, tried to push through, and then 2 months later down the road, I'm still working with that injury. If you've been taking NSAIDs like Advil or any of those other non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, and you've been taking them quite consistently, or if you need to take them before your practice or lube up with some like Tiger Balm or some other sort of, like muscle releaser, chances are you have a chronic injury, something that's been persistent over a course of 6 months. 6 months or greater is what's considered chronic injury. And if that's what's happening for you, you do need to change perspective. You need to change your environment. And I don't mean jumping ship and trying a different yoga. I mean sort of like taking your practice backwards a little bit, focusing on what it is that you can do within your practice. And you may want to check out an Iyengar class, which is really focused on alignment. Maybe even check out with your teacher and see if they do a private where you could do a one-on-one with them where they are working specifically on your particular issue that you're dealing with so that you can do a full practice, so that you will be able to get back your practice. Maybe it's time to check out some complementary medicine. And to complement the regular medicine, that means doing a massage, that means acupuncture, that means Abhyanga or some sort of Ayurvedic medicine. What I want you to explore is just this idea that there's other medicine out there, that you don't need to rely specifically on an anti-inflammatory drug. You may need to release some muscle tissue, and so a massage is perfect for that. Or it may be something a little bit deeper that you can get to using an acupuncture needle. Or perhaps you need herbs to kind of increase some blood flow and some circulation to a particular area. Those are things that complementary medicine can really help you with. I'm not saying that you need to put away regular medicine. That stuff is good. You do need to still keep that on your shelf, but check out some of these other things to complement your practice and to complement where you're at with what's going on for you.